Yes. Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo-Woo. I am your Dragon Slayer crone, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme, our crystal crone with Dimensional Healing with Krista. And supporting us, as always, from below, we have Damaris Samolinski, our stargazing crone with Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And we've got a call-in.
That's Genevieve calling in. I'll pass it on to her father. I'll be like, can you call our daughter?
And I thought it was just Tatum that called me like right before showtime. Awesome. Well, hi, Genevieve.
Yeah, no.
Thanks so much for joining us today. All two of you that are at the top of the hour with us. How you guys doing? Come on in, grab a cup of, whatever it is that you may drink. I've got Energizer and Nettle tea. Miss Krista's going to be heading into a Cosmo in a minute because she's halfway around the world and it's already there. And then what do you got, Damaris? You got some water or something?
No, I don't have anything right now. I had water before. I don't like to drink too much because then if I have to go to the bathroom, then
so at the moment I have water.
So I'm like, I try not to drink too much before the show because then I have to run and
I hear you. I have felt my back teeth floating once or twice.
Oh, I understand that.
So
I know. Yeah, that is a tough one.
Yeah. And you're just kind of like fidgeting.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Hair Bear. Awesome.
So awesome. Genevieve is on, I think. Genevieve just said, "Oh, I'm going to turn it on." So, hi, Genevieve. Say hello back.
Hi, Jen.
Fantastic. Oh my goodness. Well, we've had a pretty good, interesting week here, I think, already with hanging out with the podcast people or the Patreon people yesterday. We had the amethyst level for Moon and Woo. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, and Krista is still recovering from her vacation here in the States, going back to reality in Europe. I'm still recovering. I finally got like my clean laundry put away yesterday. Now I'm washing the dirty stuff from my week in fantasy land in Michigan with all my loves and stuff. And Damaris has just kind of been holding it together, posting stuff, and look at that.
It's been delivered.
Wow, very nice.
Cheers.
I want somebody to come in and hand me a cocktail from the side of the screen. What the hell? I got a window.
You need to come here. I know. You need to come be here.
Yeah, there you go. Hello, Mama Crone. How you doing today? Oh, I love that new picture. You beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to send you a really super cool picture that you could post up. So Jen just sent me a picture. Her boyfriend / partner, the new guy she's dating, Alex, just made her breakfast. And so she sent me a picture of him making breakfast and setting the table. So you think that this is impressive? I'm going to send this and you can post it and share. Hold on. Jen's going to be like, I can't believe you shared it with everybody. But it's a very shareable picture.
Is it?
It is. So, okay, I'm sharing it with you two on our chat.
Okay.
Let's see. And then Gayle's like, oh, cool, I'm going to share it. But yeah, no, I get it. Having someone,
I'm going to look.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
We lost her yesterday.
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, I think Tracy, did you have to like go and actually do real work? Was that what it was?
Her phone was acting up. I think it was the funny voice. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. And down. It made us all sound like we had sucked on helium.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chipmunks.
The chipmunks were visiting. So yes. So yeah. She kept getting chipmunk voices.
They were cracking me up. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. I had so much fun with that.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah. That was too much fun.
So for everybody who's here, please make a comment. Put in there, that you're watching live maybe, or if you're watching again on the replay, put replay in there so we know who's here and all that good kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, I need to totally upload this. I do.
And also write down where you're watching from, the location, because I know that we have a global reach because I can see metrics. Mm-hmm. So let us know where you're from. We like that. I especially like it since, of course, I'm on the other side of the world. Not really. I'm only over in the Netherlands, which is across the pond. But however, it's really
big ass pond.
Yeah.
I've flown over bigger ones. The Pacific is much bigger.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this I gotta say, this looks like a keeper. I don't know. I don't want to jinx anything, but look at
sure
this.
Does. Look at those eggs.
There you go. See?
Check that out.
Yeah.
It's not just the eggs that are sunny side today.
Very nice.
Looks absolutely gorgeous. All right, you have the 3 Crones stamp of approval. Don't fuck it up because we know magic. And we all love Jen. She's all of our girl now.
Yeah, she belongs to everybody here. We all have possession.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's really funny. So I'm sure if she is, she said she was turning it on to watch. So we'll see what the comment is when she decides to comment or blow up my phone. One or the other.
Okay, awesome. So Harry's live from Bennington, Vermont. Yay!
Yay!
Over there in Massachusetts. Yay!
Yay!
And man, we absolutely loved converging on Sue, aka Mama Crones' place was it 2 weeks ago already?
It's been 2 weeks. I know. Oh, here we have another one live from Belmont, Watertown, Waltham, Mass. Wow, you're very busy.
Nice. She's got 3 locations.
Yeah.
She is on it, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I feel like we're kind of unbalanced now because we've got Europe and New England, and maybe I need to go back to the Southwest for a little while just to keep the continent, from that.
It's okay. I know that we have people on the West Coast that watch, and I know that we have people down south who watch. I just don't know if they watch live or if they watch on replays. Yeah, because I'm always amazed. So no joke, the other day I'm shopping and woohoo, Flora does in the house. I'm shopping on our base. It's very small, so it's not like it's huge. And here it is. I have people and they're actually asking me further questions to do with the podcast. So I know people are watching because they're stopping me. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is really
very cool. So welcome, everybody. Oh my gosh. This is very, very cool. All right. So is there anything in particular that we want to check in about before we go into Damaris's segment? I'm feeling like there's something that I don't know about that we need to know about.
Like, how do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like something you guys have to say. Anything coming up?
No.
Nothing that I can think of. Nothing
right.
at the moment.
It'll pop sooner or later, I'm sure of it.
It always does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Righty.
Mm-hmm.
So my sister, we've been talking about her a lot lately, being that, she and I are at opposite ends of the zodiac wheel, so to speak. Does a wheel have ends? Because it goes. But yeah, her birthday is coming up this week. So
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, my sister's is next week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I have an Aries. So our oldest sister, Maureen, is an Aries.
She's an Aries to Aries, so she's true to the sign because it's at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, my sister is April 1st.
Oh wow!
On the last day of the Aries to Aries.
Oh,
okay,
yeah?
my sister's April 7th.
Okay.
Right? Am I correct? Making sure. In case I'm wrong, correct me, Mom or Trace.
She's got the second decant, which is Aries to Leo.
Oh, well, no wonder. Tracy's a Leo. Yeah, there we go. Talk about two fire signs together. I am not surprised.
Yeah, it's funny about astrology when you find out those little very personal details. You're going, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's that all the Aries people are not the same because they're in different decants, so they have different energies that play a role when they switch the decant. So yeah.
And then you were saying like Scorpios because we have different levels.
Yes.
Right. So is it just Aries and Scorpios that have these?
Signs.
Okay, so they all have different. Well,
they have different decants.
Yeah, they all have a different decant. Yeah. It's just that Scorpios have different levels because we have
because they're ruled by Pluto. They're very transformative and rebirthing. So they have the Scorpion level, the Eagle level, and then the Phoenix level.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because that's one of those things that I think is really. I mean, when I started learning about it, it was just as a Scorpio. For those who do not know, I am a Scorpio. I just thought that was really amazing. So
yeah, because like Pluto could be the devil or your savior. Pluto brings you in the darkness, and the darkness is supposed to help you seek the light. And so once you transform from all those, dark experiences, then you become that Phoenix where you're not.
You are the
bring you to the ground, and you'll come out of the
You come out, just reborn.
Become relentless. Which again, the more that you go through, the more potential that you have to become that Phoenix. But some people don't. They'll go backwards. You know what I mean? They'll get stuck and not move forward.
Yeah, and I've seen that happen with Scorpios in particular, and I can honestly say that is one that is a very shocking and like wake up call reality in terms of that is not what I want for me.
Yeah. I'm not a Scorpio, but I was born with the Scorpio and the sun in 1 degree of separation. So I have a lot of Scorpio energy as well. It's Pluto Scorpio, I should say. And it's rough because the Pluto energy also keeps reinventing yourself. So it's like you spend some time doing something and then it just brings it down. It destroys it so that you can reinvent yourself. So it's like a constant, regenerating, if you will.
You're transforming, you're up leveling.
Yeah.
It's all transformational. No wonder I'm so good at it.
Yeah. It's exhausting, really. The other thing that it does is that since I experienced death at an early age of my mom, then a lot of my clients come to me with that same kind of death situation. Not necessarily the way mine was, but there's death in their in their lives that they haven't overcome. So, almost like spirit sends them to me because I was able to,
the path out of the Black Forest.
Yes. So I get a lot of people with a lot of death issues.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're talking about your sister, Gayle.
Just basically that her birthday is coming up this weekend. And I was talking with another friend about strange things, like, for example, my sister was born on April Fool's Day. My other brother was born on one of the president's birthday. My other brother was born on Mother's Day. My other brother was born on Labor Day. I'm the freak that was, third week of September, right after, the fall solstice.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes I got to think about which one's which, right? And my grandfather was also born on April 1st. So it seems like, my family, everyone. Oh, my mother was born on the 4th of July. So
wow,
was born on or very close to a holiday. Even sometimes the holidays shift by a couple of days, like Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
Except for me. And I'm just wondering if anybody else out there that's watching this has something like that, where it's like everybody in their family was born on a holiday. Because it's very strange to me, And what on earth that could possibly mean? What could I make it mean?
What can she make it mean?
Right. And my mother, being born on 4th of July, she used to joke about how the entire nation celebrated her birthday.
It's true.
Letting off fireworks and all that. So at any rate.
Yeah. We have a cousin who was born on the 5th of July.
Okay.
But, it considers that, hey, my birthday's the 4th. Everyone celebrates, right? But even though it's the 5th, everyone's celebrating. Tracy has an interesting birthday. I don't know if Tracy will share it or not with everybody. Hers isn't a holiday. However, it's definitely something that is can be well marked in history when you cross the time zone. Okay. And it's a very interesting thing because when we lived in Japan, it was one of those. Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody what my birthday is. So yeah, I don't know if she'll actually share. It's a historical date.
Hiroshima.
Yeah, actually, it is Hiroshima. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So in this time zone, it's August 6th, but you cross the international date line and it's August 7th. Yeah. So hers can be interesting. Yeah. I'm just right before Halloween. So I always consider myself a Halloween baby. That's right. And mom shares the birthday with the U.S. Marine Corps. Yep.
There you go. There you go.
So,
and I love that they celebrate it as a birthday, not an anniversary. I do.
Yeah, they celebrate it as a birthday. Yeah.
My birthday is on the Salvadorian Independence Day, although I'm not from El Salvador.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
But they have a parade here.
Celebrating your day.
They have a parade really cool on that day, and they celebrate their Independence Day, and I'm like, yeah.
There you go. There you go. A birthday party for you.
Yeah,
it's all good.
A parade and all. A
parade and everything. So Kevin, on I forget which birthday it was. One of I think our 38th birthday, 37th, 38th birthday. He my oldest sister got married. So she created this amazing birthday party for Kevin. I'm like, dude, I'm never going to be able to keep up with that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. My best friend got married on my birthday too.
Oh, there you go.
Honor, it makes you feel very honored, but at the same time, she also died on my birthday. So wasn't so great. Yeah, I didn't mean to bring everything down, but like that. But she named her daughter after me, and she got married on my birthday, and she passed away on my birthday.
Interesting.
Anybody out there who speaks medium, let me know. If I haven't heard from her, and I cried for 4 days straight. Literally for 4 days straight.
Wow.
Loss of potential from her death.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get going.
Yeah, let's get going. And happier stuff.
My sister. All righty. All right, let's see. Here we go.
All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit small about Mars going into Cancer on the 25th. It went in. And really, that's like almost like putting your ego aside and work from the heart center, because Cancer has all to do with that, and to work with family and to work with home issues. So healing those aspects, putting the ego aside, as I said, like when you have family quarrels and the egos get in the way, so there's no resolution. This, that transit is an opportunity to help work through those, issues, family issues and home issues, like childhood or, foundation, mom. Cancer has a lot to do with mom. So if anybody has mom issues, it's a good time to balance.
Well, I'm just saying my mom was a Cancer, not that I have mom issues.
Oh.
I actually have a quick story. Like I said, I have clients that experience death in a different way. So I have a client that doesn't speak to her mom, doesn't want to speak to her mom. She has a very tumultuous relationship with her mom. Her mother was a single mom, and when she was younger, I think she was 17 or 18, I'm not sure, she got pregnant. And her mom forced her to have an abortion, and the abortion didn't go well. So now she has issues. She can't have babies from that situation. So she feels like her mom ruined her life. And as we were talking about yesterday, it takes a lot of healing, therapy, spiritual insight to be able to forgive someone that you feel has ruined your life, So yeah, she's still working on it. I don't know if she will balance that in this lifetime, but yeah, there's a lot of situations where it's very difficult to balance those family issues. So that energy of Mars going into Cancer is really where you can heal those aspects and you can work on that, because as you guys know, whatever we don't balance, we come back and repeat. So I don't know if I would want to repeat that situation, but yeah. So, working with family and working with home issues is a perfect time with that energy, with the Mars in Cancer. So now I'll talk about the Pluto energy, which also Pluto went into Aquarius on the March 23rd, but is going to go back into Capricorn on June 11th, and is going to stay there until the beginning of January. So what is it going back for? So whatever was not balanced or resolved in the energy of Capricorn has to do with authority figures. It has to do with influential people. It has to do with politics, government. It has to do with all of those things. So whatever wasn't resolved while, it was in Capricorn, now it's going to go back for 6 months in retrograde to be able to balance those things. So a lot of things we will see that are going to be destroyed, collapsed, and then rebuilt, because that's what Pluto does. It's just the energy of Pluto. It also has to do with career. So if you're in the wrong career, it's going to help you understand that you're going down the wrong path, and that you need to sort of change careers. So it will give you that energy as well, where something will happen where you are able to leave one career path and choose another. So a lot of people that are in the wrong place are going to have to experience that. Now, Capricorn also has to do with the highest quality of the human race and the lowest. What does that mean necessarily? It means that if you abuse your power, say you're in politics and you're an authority figure and you abuse your power, that's showing the lowest energy, the lowest quality of the character. Now, if you don't abuse your power and you use it for the benefit of all, then, that shows the highest quality of the character. And so that Pluto energy going into Aquarius, it's really going to work on that. And as I said before, and we'll talk about it more again, it's going to work on unity. It's going to work on, we're one human race and we're all under the same, issues. We're all going through the same thing. So if we come together as one, we can solve the issues of the world rather than be divided and be against each other. It also works with race, like the division of race. There is no, we all come in different races based on the experience that we wanted to have in this lifetime. So we chose that race, whether it's Asian, Hispanic, white, whatever it is, we chose that for our soul's evolution and whatever, we wanted to experience in this lifetime. But in all reality, we're one race. And that's the human race, and we're all spiritual. So, that's our essence. And we tend to forget that because we're also programmed to be divided, and divided, they conquer, and so when we're together, they can't. There's too many of us. And so that's what's going to happen with this Pluto in Aquarius transit. And also technology is going to change. Quantum physics, quantum healing, we're going to experience within that 21-year period, we're going to experience a lot of medicine is going to change completely within those 21 years. It's going to be quantum healing rather than pharmaceuticals. And so we're going to experience a lot of those things, space and all of that, it's going to change as well. Extraterrestrials, ETs, we're going to learn more about them. There's going to be a lot of changes within that 21-year period. And because that's what technology, Aquarius rules technology and all of that. So it's going to transform all of that. And the things that we were used to that really weren't benefiting humanity, they were actually making humanity more sick in different ways, is going to change. So that's an amazing 21-year transit that we're coming into. So it's going to, for some people, it's going to be very painful because they're used to one way of doing things, especially like, let's say people that are not too good with technology. We're going to be forced to learn more about it because that's just the way it is. I feel like a lot of things are going to go digital as well. Like things that were manual are going to go digital, like passports. It's going to be a digital passport. Money is going to be also more digital. There's so many things that are going to be more of on a digital basis. Just
that scares me. I'll be honest with you. That scares me because it is so easy to hack. It's so easy to get in and change. Just one keystroke can wipe out somebody's, like credit history kind of thing.
I feel like it's gonna, like the quantum stuff that I was talking about. I feel like with the quantum, I think it's gonna be quite the opposite. It's gonna be where people can't hack it. Where, especially if we're going to be using fingerprints and stuff like that, your fingerprint is yours uniquely to you. So how can anybody hack it? And so a lot of the things that are going to happen are going to be also used with the fingerprint. Also, your vibrational frequency, as I said before on one of the shows, it's like it's going to go according to your vibration frequency. So if you move into a town where the energy is really high, yours is low, you're not going to be able to get in there because they're going to be based on your vibration. And so that's why we need to work on that. We need, this is a preparation time for us to work on our vibration. I know it's difficult because we have, we are confronted sometimes with a lot of challenges where we lower our own vibration, but we really need to maintain it. That's where that 11 master number comes in. Which is really, it's the vibration of ministers, reformers, visionaries, is teachers. It's a high vibration where we have to go through all of it first. We have to experience all of it ourselves and then be able to teach it. And then be able to help people through it. Just like I was talking about the Pluto energy, I had to experience death in order for me to help people that are going through a death kind of situation in their lives that they can't overcome. So I can help them through that because I went through it myself. And so it's the same kind of thing with that 11 vibration. We have to go through a lot of challenges in order to overcome them. And then we become the teacher. Again, it's the first master number. And as I said before, a master is one that creates many masters, not that doesn't want other masters to come forth. You know what I mean? And so it's all about the golden rule as well, and Christ consciousness. We have to do unto others as we want done unto ourselves. We know that at some point we're going to cross over, and we have to leave behind people that are going to continue the work. And so that's really what that vibration is all about. And we have to get the ego out of the way. Really, that's what it is. You know, the ego, I feel, is related to the devil, or that dark side, or the shadow side. You know, I love Marianne Williamson, because she says when she realized that that devil was inside her, she was like, whoa, you know, it's just that we have the dark and the light within. And you can call it whatever you want to call it, the devil, Satan, whatever, but it's just the dark side. We all have it. And we got to just work on that dark side and perhaps come to a gray area, if you will.
Yeah. Another thing that when you're thinking of the shadow self, people don't really realize is honestly, it's the parts of you that you hope stay hidden. You don't want anybody to see those parts of you. I'll use something that's simple. It's like if you're the person that gets up in the middle of the night and eats the ice cream in the freezer and puts the container back empty. Yeah, you don't want anybody to know that's you, right?
Yeah, the problem with the shadow, though, it follows you like a shadow, you know?
And it does. I mean, it does. It does follow you like a shadow.
Until you fix it, you know,
and you can fix it. Well, it's like eating the ice cream and putting the container away empty. Don't do it. That's how you fix it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's how you fix it. You know, I mean, I brought it down to a very simple.
And as a word of advice, you'll get in less trouble if you throw the ice cream container away than if you put it back in the freezer empty.
Oh, so true.
True.
So true. So true. However, I mean, come on now. But that's I think a funny way of being able to explain for people, because sometimes they'll hear that word, the shadow self or the dark self. And they're like, what do you mean the dark self?
And like I said, we mentioned this before. There's that book, you know, the light side, the light,
Dark Side of the Light Pacers.
Yes, that book is excellent for working with the shadow. I used that book at the beginning of my journey, and you know, it's very helpful.
You know what? I think people in our circles don't necessarily realize, or they just mentally resist, is the fact that the more you stand in your light, the darker your shadow can be.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, well, yes, because you're making a bigger shadow because your light's getting bigger.
Exactly.
There you go.
So that is also what I consider your Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that light that you're making and you're creating, that bigger light, your shadow that you're also creating, that's your Jiminy Cricket. That's your check. You know, it's like, are you doing what you're saying?
Right.
Or are you saying what?
Are you walking the talk or not?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. And so, I think that I find that the larger my light gets, the more I feel I have to be in check with myself.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's a matter of integrity at that level. And you feel
100%.
Because when you are a light worker and you're standing in the light and you're being a point of light in darkness for people, like Damaris said, she's helping people deal with death situations in their lives. When you are being that point of light, and you are not honoring and doing the work required by your shadow self, that shit will come knocking at the most inopportune moments.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You know, and you can be responsible for it, but at the same time, you have to actually like deal with it. It's not something that, you can't hang up your shadow in a closet and go about your day. It comes with you wherever you go.
And people trigger it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and that's happened to me. I mean, I've had it where it had it happen where out of nowhere, I mean, even Kevin's like, I didn't recognize you as my wife. I didn't know who you were, because this whole other like entity appeared out of nowhere through me. It was like, whoa.
Who is that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the Krista I know. Yeah. No. And it has. And it's hard because I was funny enough thinking about that situation shortly here before the show. I was getting the glass of water and, just thinking about just variety of things, and that kind of flowed through my mind. And I was like, oh, this is a reminder. I always view it as it's a reminder that I need to stay present so that I can be in control of my light, right?
And you know what, though, with the more people go through different challenges in their lives and they don't heal those, challenges or work through them, they create different identities. So you have people that have more than one or two or three. I've sat with people that they just have different identities that pop out at different, during an hour session. And I'm like, whoa. They really need, it's just for survival mechanism that they adapt these other personalities, but they need to work on them because they don't recognize each other. And, that could be an issue.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All righty. Well, let's move it along a little bit. I love our conversations, but it's so hard for me to keep us on track. Did I cut you off, Krista? I'm sorry.
It was fine. I didn't say anything important. What I was going to show, though, hold on. I didn't have my water bottle nearby. So you can actually get a conceptual idea of the sizes of the stickers. And these are some newer ones that are also limited edition. And then this one is vibrate responsibly.
Yes. Awesome stuff.
So I put them on my water bottle.
Tell us what you got.
All right. Hey. So it's all about the Druzy quartz. And now I know you two are laughing because you're like, we know the truth. Krista didn't do any research until minutes before the show. And that's okay, because I was going to call myself out. I'm okay with doing that. I have been I've been busy researching other things, and it's really interesting. So I did some research, prior to the show, and then I've been doing a little more. And I love one description that I'll share. It's Druzy quartz is that crystal that brings sparkle and bubbly energy. Ooh. And I love it. I was like, that's how I feel when I'm around a Druzy quartz. Mm-hmm. And you see that? So sadly, we, that photo doesn't do it really much justice.
Yeah, now that I see it, I have one of those.
Because it can't catch the light. And so what a Druzy quartz is, and then I'm going to go into a little bit better of a description and the vibe, because it matches pretty much lockstep what Damaris was saying. Go figure, right? Go figure.
Can't make
it's the woo-woo appearing again. So the Druzys, they're little tiny crystals that attach to other quartz-based crystals, typically quartz-based crystals. They can go to attach to other ones, but they look like, they look literally like little sparkles have been glued on. If you're familiar with Betsy, what is it? Betsy, I forget. Betsy Jane? No, Betsy. Oh, I can't remember. She makes these sparkly shoes. And they remind me of a Druzy quartz, actually, because that's really kind of what it is. So what a Druzy quartz does is actually quite a bit. If you don't have one in your collection, I recommend getting one. We're just gonna briefly go over a couple of the big ones, or the big things that are really kind of correspond with the energy of the week of what Damaris was explaining. And the biggest thing is it brings balance, right? But not only does it bring balance, it actually helps you overcome your anxiety and fear and transmute it into courage and what is it? It was, courage, anxiety, fear, courage, and calm, right? So that you can move through. Say, for example, you're having a problem with, we'll just use something simple like homework, right? So you're somebody who is challenged. You have anxiety over it, and which turns into fear, because you know that if you don't get it done, you're afraid of the consequence. Well, having a Druzy quartz in your area will help that transmute and turn that anxiety into actual productivity. It'll turn it into courage, because it takes courage to overcome the anxiety and move through it in order to turn that around, right? So with a lot of the things that are going on with what Damaris has been talking about, especially I'm keying in on, the fact that right now Pluto is in Aquarius. So it's bringing forth all this, I want to say it's like sifting through. I feel like if you're baking, when you put the flour and all the dry ingredients into the sifter, and it smooths everything out. That's kind of what the beginning is right now of what Pluto is doing, catching all those lumps, so that when it goes back into retrograde, that you were talking about, that's when you're going through with the spoon and smashing it, right? It's smoothing it out again a little bit more, right?
Pluto is ending an era and the beginning of a new era. So
when you're doing that, you have to be courageous. There are things that are going to come up that you're going to have to say, oh wow, that's a wall of fire. So my choice is, I can sit here, or I can strap on my big girl boots that are Betsy Johnson's, and they're all sparkly. For getting that on for me, and I can put my Druzy quartz. I can put my Druzy quartz on, and I can walk through that wall of fire.
Some people do walk through fire,
and that is, and there's nothing wrong with that, with doing that, because it allows you to feel and learn that you're bigger than what it is you're afraid of. So ultimately, for me, when again you're seeing the Druzy quartz in the same month that the aquamarine came in, and that last week it was the carnelian, it really is. It's empowering us to move forward, to be courageous, to have that sparkly, bubbly, joyful energy through that it can give you, but only when you allow it. And you have to, you're going to have to do the hard work for that bubbly, joyful feeling. That bubbly, joyful feeling happens through that shadow work, or in my case, letting that Jiminy Cricket, the shadow, I'm calling the shadow Jiminy Cricket.
What's the alternative, right? What's the alternative if we don't work through that shadow?
Well, it's
way, regardless of whether you allow it or not.
That's it. But you can allow it and make it simple, or
you could have
or you can fight it
or surrender
and make it hard.
to it, right? You surrender to it, right?
Well, yeah. When we're talking about shadow stuff, I got to interject this, because my favorite way to explain why you do your shadow work comes from Game of Thrones and Peter Dinklage as Tyrion, right? And essentially, you know, I can't remember exactly the quote, but what he says is, I have to know who I am and own who I am, so you can't use it against me, right?
Exactly.
You can't use against me what I own.
100%.
And that's the bottom line. That's why you do your shadow work, you know, because if you can go in there and go, I hate to be vulnerable, here's my heart, then what can anybody do to harm you?
Oh my God, they'll rip it out of you.
You know?
But they won't
if you guard it, you know, it's at risk, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just
but
think
being vulnerable says that you're okay with the fact that oh, well, there is risk of getting hurt.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not to say it's not to say it's not going to hurt.
Right.
But it's to say that you actually go in with, you know, blinders off, and you know,
knowing that you're going to be okay if they do try to rip your heart out.
That's it.
That's the point, really.
Yeah. And you know what? I always say, I bring that a quote that I always talk about. It's like, at some point, it's like, it's death or transformation, right? It's like liberty or death, right? It's you come to a point where you have no choice. Whatever happens, but you got to go through it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And willingness being the key. You have to be willing. And that's all you have to be. You don't have to do it. You have to be willing to do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's where the freedom, the access to freedom is at.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly. So yeah, so I recommend if you don't have a Druzy quartz, to pick one up. They can be, you know, small, they can be big. You can get them on agates, you can get them on other quartz, but they're beautiful to have in your space, and it's a beautiful energy.
And do keep in mind too, this I discovered, I did not know this beforehand, but the Druzy that are on agates and the Druzy that are on quartz have different healing properties. Mm-hmm. So know what you're getting so that you can use them for the proper purpose.
Exactly. Good point. And then the other aspect to keep in mind is make sure you buy from a reputable person, because Druzys are something that people have been creating or trying to create. So you know, learn a little bit between a real Druzy, what a natural Druzy is, and a homegrown Druzy.
Can you also in the chat, can you also add like crystals that are good for, you know, when we're working with the shadow self?
Yeah, I can probably I can do that.
Yep.
I can add that into the chat.
Oh, and like Krista was just saying, homegrown, literally, you can get those little National Geographic crystal growing kits for kids, and those grow Druzy quartz.
Yeah.
So literally, if you can't find a good reputable service, or you can grow your own, but they won't necessarily have the resonant frequencies of the earth in their healing properties like we would expect.
Want that though.
Right now you need to have that Mama Earth energy. Remember, we're here to have a earth experience, so work with as many minerals or as many crystals and stuff that actually come from Mama Earth rather than the laboratory grown ones.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the difference between being an old soul and a young soul. All right. You still got a soul.
Yes, very much.
Big difference.
Soul
that is a big difference
than the other.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. Let's talk a little bit about what we did yesterday. So thank you. Go ahead, Krista. You go ahead.
No, you go.
All right. Well, thank you to all of our Coven of Joy over on Patreon, whether you are the citrine level or the amethyst level. We love you. Thank you so much for contributing to this enterprise. We had a great moon and woo yesterday with the amethyst level people. That was so much fun. Going into this full moon in Libra, where we're going to be getting rid of relationships that suck the life out of us. Right? That is the short form of it all. Okay. And you've got over a week still to do your process going forward. So if you want more information about how to do that, then you should sign up for Moon and Woo, because every other week we do a show that is private, exclusive to our Moon and Woo members, and they get to ask us any kind of questions that they may have. And we tell you all about how to set up your moon ritual work far enough in advance so that you can prepare to have that boost energy in your life and use the energy of the moon to make your success that much more real. All right? Awesome. All right. Abandoning anxiety. Oh God, wouldn't we all just love to do that?
Yes, we would.
Right? So
Yes.
back when I was in early recovery, I was going to a church that was called Church of Today. Okay. And when Marianne Williamson became the spiritual leader at that church, the name was changed to Renaissance Unity. Well, around that time, my mom started getting interested in, what I was doing that was having me come home all damn happy. What the hell is wrong with you? So she called up the church and she's like, okay, what do you believe? Because you have to understand, in my family, we were talking earlier about people, we were all born on holidays. We've all taken a different spiritual path in life. Okay. So my oldest brother was very, very active in the church, in the holidays of the church and all of that, in his capacity. My sister Marge writes symphonies based on the book of Revelations.
Wow, that's nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. My other brother, he went fundamentalist Baptist early on, and his wife was like, I'm not going to church with you. I don't wear dresses. That kind of fundamentalist Baptist. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's me. Hi. Okay. So I'm the metaphysical practitioner, ordained minister. I've worked in churches, the Renaissance Unity and the Center of Light. But they are not a full Bible church at all, right? So we all have these different paths but we all stayed close to God, right? Whatever version. So my mom calls up Renaissance Unity and she's like, well, what do you believe? They told her we believe in denying. And she was confused, right? And she's like, I don't know if I could go to a church that's all about denial. And I'm like, that's not what they said, Mom. We believe in denying. For example, get thee behind me, Satan. You've got no power here, right? I deny your ability to impact my life, right? I deny that has any power over me. I stand sovereign as a child of God. That type of denial, right? So, excuse me. That's the same type of thing that I'm talking about. That denial when it comes to abandoning anxiety, all right? You've got to get into a space of, yes, there are a billion things that could go wrong in any moment, but none of that has any power over me. Not in this moment, not here right now, not in the present moment. None of that is happening. Anxiety is all about stepping out of the present moment into the future and worrying about what could possibly happen. When you are in the present moment, you abandon anxiety. It's still out there. If you want to grab it up, you can do that, but it's out there. It's not in here. Okay. And that's another one of those things that it looks a little weird bringing it around, but when we're talking about that Druzy quartz, like Krista said, it transmutes that feeling of anxiety into productivity. Okay. So you have to actually be present to, okay, I'm not in the present moment. I'm worried about this. This could happen, whatever, right? And then you meditate with that Druzy, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm going to take action in this direction, right? I'm not going to be stuck here worried about what could possibly potentially happen someday, somehow in the future, somewhat, somewhere. I'm going to take action on what I believe is right in the present moment. Okay. That's what I'm talking about with abandoning anxiety, because anxiety is an energetic addiction. Okay. Keep that in mind. It is an energetic addiction. It is our go-to to keep us distracted and busy so that we don't take action in the areas that we will be satisfied by and will be fulfilling to us. Okay. It gives us that thing so that we can commiserate with others and stay in a low vibrational density. Okay. Instead of standing firm for miracles happen every day, right? In my life, in your life, let's take this next step, like Indiana Jones, that step off of the cliff onto the stepping stone path, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So, which is amazing, because look at what the card is for today.
Two of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. You want to resist making a decision, okay? You are completely blinded to what's in front of you. You're guarded and protected, but it's of your own doing. Nobody's doing this to you. Lay down the swords, take off the blindfold, and walk away from the waters behind you, right? And literally, the water's behind you. It's supportive, right? Spirit is supporting you from behind, and you just walk forward. All right. So yeah, isn't it just delightful how all of this stuff?
It really is.
It really is, because you know what? As we are right now, right? We're on this precipice going forward into the age of Aquarius. I'm so glad that you spoke what you did today, Damaris, because in listening to all these people on TikTok and elsewhere talking about, Pisces going into Aquarius, this is wonderful. I only heard one that was talking about the fact that it's going to be here for about 6 months. And then it's going to, like till June. So the end of March until June. And then it's going to go retrograde into Capricorn, right?
Finish what it started.
Yes. But I can see a lot of people that aren't prepared ahead of time for that function, that 6 months of going back and with the whisk broom and cleaning up little tidbits, right? That they're going, oh no, I thought this was supposed to be good forever, and it's going to be hell again for a while. It's going to be hell again. But yeah, we're going to have to go back and clean up the crumbs, right? 100%. That's all it is. But get this next 2 months, right? April, May to the beginning of, the end of June. The beginning of June?
June 11th.
June 11th. Okay. So the beginning of June, and watch what feels right for you. What feels forward moving for you. Okay. And take stock of that, because when we go clean up the mess, and don't forget, this mess is right about when people are going to start declaring for presidency for 2024. Okay.
Yeah.
When we start cleaning up this mess that has become America, with all the drizzle down that's been happening for the last 3 to 4 years at least, right? We're going to need to know where we're going, and we're going to need people that are ready to hit the ground running when Pluto goes forward again into that rising up phase, that Phoenix phase, if you will.
It is the Phoenix phase, really. And you know what? I just want to add a little something really quick. We're going into a new era. The word era, when you scramble it around, it's ear. So ear, are you listening? Are you listening to what's happening? Are you paying attention? So a lot of people are working in jobs that they will be destroyed. Those jobs will be non-existent. Within those 21 years. Are they ready to invent themselves? you know, in something else. If
Right.
they're not, they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's kind of interesting along those lines of reinventing yourself, for example, I've been seeing quite a few advertisements lately about for people who remote work, right? Wanting cruise ships want you to come live on their ship.
Wow.
Yeah. It'll cost like 30 grand a year for your room and board, food everywhere, alcohol everywhere, whatever. And Starlink is in place so you can get internet from wherever. And literally you cruise around and visit the entire world while you're working from home.
Wow. That would be good.
Very nice.
Ladies, I think that we need to tell the universe that we need to do a couple of cruises.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, together.
Yeah,
You know,
I've been looking into it this last week. In fact, the other day, just was it Saturday or Sunday? I'm like, I think I want to take a cruise. I do. So yes, it's showing up in all of our spaces. This is wonderful. We will do that. So at any rate, here's the thing. Be prepared by knowing that this retrograde period is coming and knowing that this retrograde period will end. Okay. So again, we step into that denial. I deny that this retrograde has any undoing ability, right? Because we're going to go forward again. So do the work that you need to do for yourself. Just like when Mercury goes retrograde and it's time for reviewing and you know, rehashing the things that have already been started and we're simmering on the back burner.
Yeah.
You know, that's again, just know. And I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday who had to do an anxiety dump with me. So all of this is very, very timely, right?
Yeah.
And her band had disbanded because somebody's partner passed away and he's not ready to go back to doing music yet. So she made a new band. It was wonderful. She named it Phoenix, thinking that it was the re-rising after the old band. And now that band is defunct. And I'm like, no, that was your pre-phase for the Phoenix. Now 2 of these members are going to come with you. You're going to replace whoever else. And that's going to be the real Phoenix rising, right?
Such an appropriate name for the times we're going through.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, should we be 3 Crones? No, we can't be the Phoenix Crones. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Adding Phoenix to our name. Oh, well, what can I say? I thought I could do it.
Well, you guys both have the Scorpio energy, right? You have a rising in Scorpio, Gayle?
I've got a double. I got rising and moon.
Yeah. And you're a Scorpio, and I have Scorpio a degree away from my sun, so I have it too.
There we go. Yes.
There we go.
Yep. So see, we're the Phoenix. We're Phoenixes. We're rising. It's all good.
Definitely are. We are.
Yep. Keep that in mind, everyone. This is actually the very beginning. We're putting our toes in for happily ever after and allowing nature to do its cosmological chores, right? In cleaning up what we don't ever want to see again.
100%, Gayle.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. All right. So real quickly, let's say congratulations to this week's Woo Woo giveaway winner, Victoria.
Wow.
Congratulations, Victoria.
She's in New Hampshire.
Is she? Oh, no.
Fabulous.
Wonderful. All right. So all you have to do, Victoria, and for all of you who don't know what this is about, which should be very few of you, unless we have new watchers. Every week we give away a reading, a 30-minute reading from any one of us 3 Crones. Now, if it's me, it's going to be an intuitive tarot reading. If you pick Krista, it's going to be a crystal reading. And if you pick Damaris, then it's going to be a numerology reading. All right. So all you got to do is pick your favorite crone, slide into our DMs and say, hey, I picked you. When can I get on your calendar? And we will get you scheduled as quickly as we can. All right. Now, for everyone else as well, we are available for those types of readings and other selections of services as well, at your bidding, basically, although we each have office hours on Monday. So
that we do.
You know, that's the easiest day to get on our schedule.
It is.
Just reach out to us, anyone individually that you would like to and that you resonate with. We are happy to be of service to you. All right. All right. So let me check the comments once more before we go. Awesome. Yay. Fantastic. Great notes. Thank you very much, Krista.
You're welcome. I just thought I would type away as we're talking.
I appreciate it.
Multitasking.
Excellent.
Trying.
All right. Well, one final thank you to my fellow Cronettes.
We're Cronettes.
I love it. And to all of you out there in our Coven of Joy, thank you so very much for being a part of this and filling our lives with joy every Tuesday afternoon. We hope we do the same for you. And thank you so much for being part of the Coven of Joy. Take care. Have a fantastic week. We love you. Bye-bye.